The beginning was, of course, the Gentes game that we have published with Spielworks as well, as now it comes with EPOS. And we worked on expansions, and we learned that most of the ideas I had could not work with the Gentes map. So I was trying to develop more and more of my ideas for expansions to come to a new game, and I learned that it is not possible to um, put it to a Gentes expansion, but to have a new game would be a great idea because there are so many changes and variants and additions that make the new project a completely new game, but not a expansion. So you are playing one of four people in the Mediterranean Sea, and the gameplay is rather simple. You take an action tile, pay for the costs, and complete the action. And there are only four main actions. So buy a card, play a card for the glory points you get from them. But to play the card, you need specific people that you have to educate, for example, priests or soldiers, and that is the fourth main action, namely, no, the third, mainly educating people, and the fourth is building cities by spreading out pioneers about the map, and that is the four main actions, and there are two minor actions likely to gain some money as a tax collector action and become the new starting player for the next round. There are 6 rounds altogether, and they are divided in three um, uh, eras, and 2 rounds are one era, and a new era brings new cards with more powerful possibilities and features, but of course with higher costs. So you have to develop your people and build up cities to gain more resources and benefits. The main difference is that the map is recreated and redesigned completely. The Gentes map was only divided into 3 regions and a side spot for hometowns that give you special actions or modifiers for actions. And we have integrated the hometowns into the map, and we have divided the map not only in regions but in areas. So now you can drop not only cities on the map, but pioneers. And pioneers are sufficient to gain the control over a spot, a city, and its functions. So you do not have to spend so much time and money into building a city at once, but you can drop only some pioneers with less costs and use the abilities of the cities much earlier, and you can walk around with the pioneers to change control from one spot to the other, and that is a complete new feeling to act on the map and give other abilities and make the hometowns more um, part of the game instead of only a side spot. Each of the scenarios has a specific feature, a specific spot that is in the focus of the game. So you can play 8 games with only one basic rule set and only have to learn the specific rules from one scenario. So, okay, the most interesting scenario for expert gamers will be the new era scenario. This is the most complex one. You have a specific people, the specific features and abilities for your own people that no other player can achieve during the game. You have to collect not only glory points, that is victory points in EPOS, but you have to collect culture points. That is that you compare at the end of the game culture points to glory points, and whatever is lower, that will be your final score. So you have to take two different um, kind of points into consideration when you play. And you have specific civilization cards that you have to play. For example, the Egyptian player, of course, will be awarded to play the pyramids in his display, and the Rhodos player will have to play the Colossus, and so on. So this is a specific scenario where you collect specific culture points for collecting resources that are not in the game for other scenarios. So it's a very different gameplay. Another very interesting scenario, in my opinion, is the turbulent times, because there is some kind of cooperation feature in this scenario. At the beginning of each round, there are some plagues or catastrophes that push you back in your civilization development, because they block your civilization cards or the abilities of your cities or something like that, and you have to fight with a specific action against these catastrophes and plagues. And you will most likely not be able to defeat this catastrophes by yourself, but only if all players work together, they can defeat them and push them out of the game. So, of course, you're playing for yourself, but it is interesting to have the plagues out of the game, so you have to cooperate in a specific way. And another scenario that I like is infrastructure, where you build roads from cities to other cities, and the roads bring you benefits similar to the cities, but which rather the cities need roads to be active. So if you are in era 2 and your city has only one road on their borders, it is not giving any resources anymore. So you have to build more of the roads. Yes, if you ask me for three, that would be the top three, but it's difficult to decide because there are so many other features and scenarios. Yes, the idea was to have some kind of guideline to play the scenarios, to explore the specifics of each scenario, and to have some interest to play scenarios, even if you have already found your favorite one. To keep an eye on the others. And the story is that you build up a civilization in one of the scenario games, and then you, of course, have to not destroy them, but of course they're starting a new civilization in the next game. So it's about uprising and falling down of civilizations. And the campaign is combining the scenario plays by EPOS points that you earn during the game, but in particular during the whole campaign. So you have special objectives to complete, and that brings you to the decision whether you want to win this specific game, or do you want to focus on completing targets from your EPOS sheet that you have, like, do not use the tax collector action in this game, or complete 8 cards from era 102 or something like that, which you would not have done in a single game, because you have only the focus on completing cards and cities for glory points. So playing the campaign is a different experience in each of the scenarios than just only playing a single game. And what um, is interesting, in my opinion, is that you can explore all 8 scenarios with a full campaign of 8 games. But you also can say, well, only want to play a 4 game scenario, or a 4 scenario campaign, and then you can explore different scenarios depending on how you succeed in the special campaign cards. We did not mention the campaign cards that give you another target and objective to complete for additional EPOS points, and depending on whether all players complete these targets or not, it will be more easy or not so easy to complete the next scenario because you get additional resources or not so difficult targets for the next scenario. In my opinion, it is that it is rather easy to learn the basic game because, as I told you, you have only 4 different main actions, and the variation of the order of the cards as they come out and the abilities you acquire during the game. It is different in each game in the basic game, but it is so easy to implement additional rules and variations, so you can explore a different game experience from one scenario to the other without learning too much more new rules, because you already know most of the rules and you only have to learn some additional rules and have a complete different game experience. Because they can explore different game experiences with the almost identical rule set, and they I would be delighted if they can explore each of the scenarios with different views and get from the table and say, well, next time I will try this path to victory, and I will try to do to do this or that different than this time. So I think the replayability is rather high, and it is interesting to find your favorite scenario, because all of the scenarios can be played independently, and the campaign is not a legacy game, so you will not destroy any of the materials, and you will be able to set up a scenario that you like. Also, you are in a campaign with another play group. So um, I think it's an interesting experience to explore all of the different aspects of the different scenarios and find your favorite one to play again and again.